Hi everyone. So today let us discuss one of the assignments that I've been doing. I submitted it last week or something. So the topic given was that uh, we had to do a research task. The topic was that future of EV charging in India. And there was no set prompt, nothing like to prepare a PRD or prototyping, anything like that. It was an open forum for us. So we had to decide on our own what would be the template and what to, things to include or exclude and how we are going to just think on it. That was the brief, and the topic was future of EV charging. So from a product perspective, how do you think? And let's say this is for any of the EV companies in the value chain of EV, and since this is EV charging, let's say we are a EV charging company, we are battery manufacturers or charging station uh, providers or swapping station provider or a EV maker manufacturer, anything that it could be anyone. So I had decided to follow this framework, which is how I think on the requirement document that we prepare, the assumptions, what could be there, in here, the introduction, then problem space, and now there is a solution and references that we have. So in assumptions, it contains the persona that I just described it. Who are we? So we as a product management or from the product team, we are building this research report, and who will read this report? The audience part. Who will read this report? So this report is for the product team, sales team, for the senior management executives of the company. And the now comes the objective, scope, what is the context of this report. So the objective is to identify the current pain point in EV charging space, and that identification of the analysis and why we are doing this, what is the goal of it, that we want to align this align this research or the gap that we identify in this our future product roadmap. We align the what is our roadmap. We need to align that how we are going to think about the future of China. And the scope of this document is we will select we will create a persona, and we will try to understand their pain point and think through their persona's angle and the relevant stakeholders. And the context is that this is prepared in the response of request from a senior management team or leadership of the product department. So that is in production. Now moving on to the problem space. So in the problem space, first I have tried to highlight some of the key points of the EV charging space. Then what is the need statement? What actually does our user need? Why we are thinking about this? Now this is a persona definition. Then the identification of pain points and what are the constraints that we have. So let's say the data points. So currently uh, there are 30,000 public EV charging stations, and the increase is 5x in 3 years. But the plan of the government in the PM drive is that there needs to be a 72,000 public charging stations in the national highways. So in the recent, I think our ministry has, because in the budget there is an outlay of 2,000 crore. Our ministry had done a meeting where they have uh, discussion with multiple ministries regarding this development, and the department, the national department. I think there is a BHE, which has been identified as a nodal agency, which will develop a digital kind of a super app, EV super app, where user can charge their app, payment, do the payment, see what are the nearest location for charging station, similar things like that. And yes, so another point is that the charging infra growth, charging station across the state wide. So Karnataka is the leading state among all the states in India. And in the Karnataka, Bangalore is the highest, it has the highest station. I think around 3000 or something. It has the highest station in the Bangalore, Karnataka. And also the current focus or the most of the stations are concentrated in the tier one cities, metro cities. So our goal of anyone who is in this space should be that this has to transfer into the next stage, which is tier two, three cities, because most of the growth of three EVs from the three wheeler or two wheeler space, mostly from three wheelers. I think it is around 80 to 85% of the total three wheelers. And also, apart from this battery charging, there is another concept of battery swapping. So there is a company called Battery Smart. It has a 1200 station, swapping station, and it does around 1 lakh swaps per day. So similar to charging, since battery charging takes some time, whether it's a fast charging or slow charging, slow, I think it is around 6 to 8 hours. But in the fast charging, it is, let's say, maximum 1 hour or half an hour. So swapping is a different concept of where you go and change your battery, and it is less than 2 minutes you can do that, and it has been growing popularity across, I think, various geographies. But India, there's a company called Battery Smart. So the need statement is that user, in our case, that is the EV owner, they need a faster, flexible charging, swapping solutions of multiple charger types. In the charging space, there are multiple charger types: AC, DC, fast charger, slow charger, and government has also uh, tried to standardize or regularize this space with uh, two kinds of charger, Bharat diagnostic or something, two kinds of charger they have tried to identify. So our user persona is someone who is independent driver near Sukhdevia Metro, and they have a Mahindra Trio. It is a 15 ampere output charger, and charging time is around 5 hours. So the pain points is that different manufacturers, since it is quite a new industry, and each of the nothing, each of the startups or that we see, they are trying to source elements or trying to prepare on their own. So the maybe the goal for them is to increase their customer. So they try to use something called locking, where you produce a certain kind of a charger which will be charged from charger type or a battery type. So currently in the market there are different manufacturers with different software system, hardware system. So this is very limiting for the user from the user point of view. And second point is that locating nearest charging station, where is the exact location, what is the health of the battery, how much time it will take, what is the traffic over there. So similar thing like that. And in the EV space, the 40% of the cost is of battery. So if many companies which who provide the leasing or financing of the vehicle without the battery, so they will own the battery. So once you utilize the battery, you can return that to the owner. So you are not the owner; you are just a on the lease. The battery is on the lease. So the total cost of the vehicle is reduced. Now coming to the constraints. Constraints are that there is limited public station, charging stations in tier two, three cities. There are very few opportunities of resale of those batteries. If I am owning that battery, a limited financing option for the people who are trying to find buy a new EV, because most of the people, as I said, are buying three wheelers, and in the three wheelers, the users who are buying this uh, vehicle, I have a very limited credit history. Banks or NBFC are willing, but banks, commercial banks are very not so willing of giving loans or financing those vehicles without proper, because industry is new, so they are also not willing to take a risk. So now if you come about the solution space, so in the solution space, I try to examine the existing features that we have on the company that we are thinking or operating, that we are part of product, physical product, financial product, or a software product. We have three kinds of products. And what are the different potential for features we can think about? The potential features could be remote charging or swapping station in tier 2, 3 cities. And adding, since we have the existing marketplace of charger, we can add EV battery as also in a different product vertical, or a safety standard. We can launch program, or we can do in-house safety or a testing of batteries that are available in the market, or the products that we sell on the our marketplace. And we can launch a pilot phase on ground support for vehicle breakdown. And next is the again educating users through social media channels. And I've chosen one feature to be implementing in the first priority. The feature is that first feature was the feature that I have selected was launching a swapping station in Delhi NCR, and we'll pick one residential society. Let's say I have picked up social media in Noida Sector 52. There are four towers, A, B, C, D. Each tower has 22 floors. Each floor is six flats, so it comes down to 132 flats. And let's say four towers, 528 flats. So the number of family who order online. Now, how I'm thinking about is that if we launch a swapping station in the residential society complex in their area, and the number of delivery person who frequent these residential society, so they can swap station, they can do swapping, but swap the battery, and it can, the advantage for the RWs, residential welfare association, is that it can become a two key benefits. I've written multiple benefits, but the two key benefit I think is that first is the swapping station. There will be a source of power which will charge the battery. So the power that we get, uh, it becomes a backup power, emergency power for our society whenever there is a power outage. Because currently in our society, Bhutan Villa society, we have a diesel generator that acts as a power backup. But once this swapping station is installed in our society, then that electric batteries would become the power source for our emergency situations. This is the first advantage. Second benefit is that the number of delivery partners who are frequenting the society, they would choose to use our swapping station, and that is and we will charge them of course. So this is the source of revenue for the RWA, and apart from being dependent on the members of the society for donations and contributions, RW can become independent and do more work for the people of the society. So these are the two I think. And another benefit is that if we have excess power, then we can transfer back to grid. But it is something that has to be looked into, because many the utility companies are governmentally owned, although they are most of the time in many cases they are operated by private parties. But this transfer of power from the station, from the resource society back to the grid requires technology, and this is called vehicle to grid V2G technology. So in this technology, the power is transferred back to the grid for grid stabilization, fluctuation purposes, different aspects of it. And it is in the, I would say, pilot phase for multiple car companies, which will be seen which are multiple companies have tried to develop this kind of cars who are capable of transferring power back, because in this bi-directional power transfer occurs. So this is something that is in the pilot phase where we can implement this. Now the success metric I have identified is the what is the average number of swaps that is done per day, time of swapping, how much time does it take, and what's the different charger type you are supporting, what is the monthly average saving for the power on by society, and other things could be what is the revenue by the through the source by the society. And the risk, I would say, since there are multiple stakeholders, discount, battery operators, OEMs, RWAs. So this is very quite a complex or operational challenge, integrating multiple stakeholders, their point of view, their interest, and creating this. Many challenges, many contains multiple risk, and the long-term sustainability of such kind of projects. And also again, this is a high upfront cost for setting up of that station. So who would bear that cost? Because as an RWA, they have to take a call whether they want to set up this and how long term they can think about this. Finding sustainable society, building suitable society in Delhi NCR. And also it could be that not enough delivery partner in a nearby area. They will come to the circle. Because to break even or do a recovery of our initial capital, we need number of delivery partners, enough number of delivery partners, so that we can recover the cost of investment that we have made. And again, this is a new technology B2G. Again, we have this integration. And references are from multiple companies, research that have been done by government, third parties. So I think that is all. And let's say if anyone has any questions, in the next video we can attempt different product or learning project that I have.